Hey everyone, Matt J. Doyle here with Tap Interviews, brought to you by EasywayWall.com. I'm here with Mr. Douglas Vermeeren. And Doug, could you just tell us a little bit about what you've done? You've worked with some major companies, and then tell us what you're working on right now.
Sure. Sort of my background is the media refers to me as the modern day Napoleon Hill for the interviews that I did with more than 400 of the world's top business leaders, entrepreneurs, achievers, athletes, celebrities, etc. No one in the world's done that kind of work since Napoleon Hill. So that's kind of what I've done. And now what we've just released is my fourth movie. I've got three movies in the top 10 personal development films of all time. This newest one that just came out, it's called How Thoughts Become Things. It came out about almost a month ago, and we've actually beat the numbers from The Secret, which was the number one movie. We've beat it now by 3 times, and we're escalating in an incredible pace right now. So we've already overtaken them, and we're probably going to do about triple or double their numbers at least by the time we're done.
That's amazing. So it's called How Thoughts Become Things. That's your current project, right?
That's the one that's out right now. Like I said, just came out about a month ago.
So could you tell us a little bit more about it, what it's all about? And
yeah, for sure. Well, I think the biggest thing is throughout, I guess, not only since The Secret, but, personal development in general, we've always had this saying that thoughts do indeed become things. The things that we think about most really find themselves manifested in real life. The question that's never really been answered is how. How does that happen? And as you can imagine, even right now with what's going on with the COVID virus, there's a lot of question marks around thought. People are in fear, they're in despair. Some of them are, very panic stricken because of either their economic situation or uncertainty that's here. And so in this film, we really unfold, how do our thoughts become things? How do we manifest the things that we really want, dream about, and desire? And also, how do we overcome the negative thinking that often prevents us from achieving?
Wow, sounds amazing. And where can people see that right now, Doug?
Yeah, they can head over to howthoughtsbecomethings.com. And if you enjoyed films like The Secret, we've actually got a lot of the cast has returned. So we've got Bob Proctor, Joe Vitale, John DeMartini, John Ostroff, Marie Diamond, Bob Doyle, Dennis Waitley, and others that we all know, the top of the top in personal development. So yeah, if you head over to howthoughtsbecomethings.com, you'll be able to grab a copy of the film right now.
Howthoughtsbecomethings.com. Awesome. So, Doug, tell us just a little bit about more about the companies that you've worked with in the past, and what did you do with those companies? Just a little bit more elaboration on that.
Well, I think probably the biggest thing I've been known for is, like I said, when I was 19, I went out and I started interviewing some of the world's top achievers, just to kind of give the before and after picture. As a young man, I was, raised in a family that my dad worked in construction. My mom babysat kids in the home. We didn't have a lot of money. I, in fact, wore hand-me-downs even up into high school. But as soon as I started interviewing the top achievers and implementing their strategies, many of them took me on as kind of a mentorship project. So I had people like the co-founders of FedEx, Nike, Reebok, the Avita Group, American Airlines, KFC, you name it, all the big companies. And they took me and taught me some things about life, money, people, everything. And as a 19-year-old, in my first 6 months, I was able to do $1.6 million. And most of it in passive income. In fact, if you Google #1 passive income coach right now in the world, it's me. Money Magazine rated me that because of the results that we generate for people. But it's not really because of me or about me. It's because of my association with the top achievers, right? Like these top business leaders. And that even kind of overflows to the film. A lot of people really wondered, like, what's the key to raising your level of thinking, to thinking higher, to producing results, whether it's in finance or relationships or whatever it is. And the truth is, it really starts with what we allow to influence us. The majority of us, if you think about your thinking, it's generally reactive. The things that happen on the outside are what cause us to think. Now, I'm not saying that we can't be proactive about that. We certainly can make decisions ahead of time. But the things that we surround ourselves with really control our programming of what we value, what we think is possible, what we believe we can achieve, and even the opportunities that we'll take action on. And so I found for me as a 19-year-old, as soon as I started surrounding myself with some of these top leaders, many of them had achieved so many amazing things that I began to believe in myself, and I began to see possibilities. And of course, as those things come into your life, you begin to take action. What do we say? That environment precedes habit. And so if we're looking to create habitual success, we begin by really putting ourselves in a position to be influenced by things that will create success. And so for me, that was probably the biggest shift for me in my life.
And of course, you're still associated with these great people in your life today?
Yeah, I am. In fact, it's funny, many of them have appeared in my movies, and many of them actually come out to our events. I do actually several different big events. So I do a training called Personal Power Mastery, which is really around the mindset and strategies of top achievers. And I also do something called Networker VIP, where we actually bring in some of these top, business leaders and celebrities and everyone else, so that if you would like to network at that level, like you've probably heard the saying, hey, you want to become rich, take a millionaire to lunch. Well, it's not the lunch that makes the difference. It's the relationship. And I'm going to suggest don't stop at a millionaire, because that's pretty common now. Head up to the billionaire level. And so how can you get access to these people? That's at our events. And I've had Academy Award winners come out. I've had the founders of big companies like UGG or Ted Baker or Nike or Reebok, or like we get some big names. I just actually was on the phone earlier today with an Academy Award winner movie producer, and together we're going to partner and do a really big film with some names that I can't say what they are, but it really is your network that influences your net worth. And it's also that old adage that you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's interesting. I noticed that as I brought in some of the top thought leaders into my life, that everything has changed. And yesterday I was on the phone again with Dennis Waitley, who's kind of become like my adopted grandpa. I was also in a Zoom training, just me and Bob Proctor yesterday, that we're going to be releasing here soon. When you start spending more time with these kinds of people, it rubs off, and it almost opens, how should we say, your brilliance within you, and starts creating the legacy that you're going to be. And I think most people miss this. This is a good adage to think about when it comes to your network. You'll never do $1 million deal at a $10 breakfast. And the problem is most people play slow and low, which means that you get a no, right? Slow, low means a no. And so you need to level everything up. And as I've grown my life and business, it's interesting. I noticed that at the low or no level networking, people are looking to make a quick sale. How can I make some money, right? Like, how can I sell someone? And at the higher level, you're not really looking for a sale. In fact, you're looking for relationships where people don't have one of your customers, but thousands of them, right? So we're not looking for a sale. We're looking for someone who's already got our customers, or we're looking for opportunities or relationships or whatever it is that we're trying to create. And that's the thing that we really do in our programs, is I invite people to play with some of these higher level people so that you can level everything up. And it's not just about making money. It's about creating long-term synergistic relationships that it's an activity of mutual creation. So that's really what's made the shift for me. But here's an invite. Come and play with us, right? That's it. Come play with us.
And how can people come play with you? How can they go to a website or?
Oh, yeah. Well, again, come see the movie first. Go to howthoughtsbecomethings.com. But I've got tons and tons and tons of free resources online. I know a lot of these other coaches and speakers and people are out there trying to sell you programs. Truth is I make quite a bit of money in my business ventures, so I don't need to sell everybody a program. In fact, if anything, I'd like to just show you how to do it correctly. And I've got lots of free resources to start out with. And if you like our vibe, you'll become our tribe. Bottom line is you can head over to YouTube, type in my name, Douglas Vermeeren. And if you, head over to Instagram, I've got an account there, lots of free stuff going on. And so, just join us. And if you love us, come out to our events. We definitely have some really great programs and things. But make sure you like us and you can use our stuff to help you first. What do we say? Go to those who you resonate with and, take the best, ditch the rest. If I can serve you, I'm happy to do it. If I can't, then you need to go where you're going to be, feeling better, right? Where you are going to get results.
Exactly. So I'd just like to take a quick look at your website, if you don't mind, your personal website. Would that be okay? Yeah,
we're changing it right now. To be honest with you, there's nothing really there of value for anybody. The bottom line is most of the stuff that I'm doing at the high levels, to tell you the truth, we don't even really put on a website because, like I said, you like our free stuff, then you come talk to us, and then we'll invite you to other things. I know this is going to sound maybe a bit snobbish, we don't do a lot of one-on-one business with the general public. I also don't do any one-on-one coaching right now, except for my clients. I've got a 3-year waiting list to get involved. We charge $250K a year. You want to have me as a one-on-one coach? I'm just telling you right now, it's just not possible. We're not taking anyone for at least 3 more years. We've got a waiting list of 3 years. But, the movie, come see us there. Certainly at live events. I speak at a lot of other people's events. We've got lots of free stuff that's out there. So I encourage people, if they like what we do, and this is it. Just remember, I interviewed 400 of the world's top achievers. So I've got content that no one's seen, right? Like I didn't learn what I'm telling you from someone else's book. I didn't, for example, see The Secret and the next day decide I was going to be a law of attraction coach like a lot of people, or I didn't go to Tony Robbins and decide now I want to be a life coach. No, I actually didn't intend to even be involved in personal development. I went out and I met with the 400 of the world's top achievers. They made me a bucket load of money. They showed me how to live my life at a higher level, and I still connect with people at that level. And so if you're interested in that kind of thing, I'm not trying to be smug or anything, but most of personal development that's taught out there is a load of bullshit. Let's be honest, okay? Most of those guys, they've never done nothing in their life, and they're trying to sell you a program. That's where they make their money. So where we're different is I don't need your money, but we definitely have exactly what you need to create success. I can show you what they've done when you interview 400 of the world's top achievers and you remain friends with them. 400, that you start to see some common things show up. And you also get to see very quickly what's the bull crap and what's not the bull crap. And the other thing that I'll tell you, while we're on the subject, let's just be bold about it. This whole idea about fake it till you make it is a lie. And there's a lot of people that are out there kind of pretending to be a big deal. And everyone who's successful at the top sees right through it. And so I'm going to tell you right now, if you really want to become successful, don't play that game of fake it till you make it. Get really serious, become very curious, and ask for help. And people like myself and others in our position, we will help you. But you've got to be very careful about who you're asking help for, because there's a lot of people who, they may have good intentions, but they just don't have the goods. They don't have the ability to teach you. And so if they've never made themselves outside of selling courses, if they've never made over $1 million, they're not going to be able to show you how to do it either. Right? So you've got to be very selective about who you bring into your life as mentors and coaches. And don't pay a bunch of people who haven't got a proven track record. Do your due diligence, right? If you really want to become successful, I'm here to tell you that it's not as hard as most people make it, but it is a commitment. And it is something that there is work involved. But once you understand the correct work, like, see, here's one of the things that I really don't understand. Right now, you see a lot of the gurus that are out there telling everybody, you got to hustle, you got to get a side hustle, you got to grind, you got to wake up early, you got to stay up late, all this kind of stuff. But they don't tell you what to do, right? So in other words, wake up early and you'll be successful. Go to bed late, you'll be successful. Work, you'll be successful. Well, the truth is if you're doing the wrong things, there's no purpose to it. I don't wake up early. I don't go to bed late. But I do 8 figures in passive income every year, right? So it's not the time you put in. And the biggest problem that people make a mistake with is they think that time is a result of money, right? They think that time is a result of, injecting whatever effort we inject, that's what's going to create the income that we have. And the truth is that, money is really built by systems, not by a trade of time, right? So we need to understand that that's really how things are done.
Wow, that's a lot of information to process.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. It's the truth, and there's really, I don't know if we're talking about money for a minute. There's only really 5 ways that money is made, and if your mentor or whoever you got teaching you doesn't understand, you're never going to get rich. And the 5 ways are: it's either business, real estate, investment, intellectual property, or your networks. Those are the only 5 ways you can make money. And so if you don't have someone who understands those pieces, or they've never made, like I said, over $1 million. See, the problem is Harvard did a study a handful of years ago, and they said that the average person has $6 million ideas per year, right? 6. And I know some entrepreneurs, in fact, they have that on a day, right? But the problem is is if you've never built $1 million company, it doesn't matter if you have $1 million idea, you won't know what to do. And so this is also back to this idea why your network is so important. You see, most people who are, I guess, entrepreneurs right now, it's interesting. They ask two kinds of questions. They ask the what can I do, right? And it's always an I involved, or how can I do it, right? Like it's how or what questions. But if you look at the most wealthy people in the world, they don't ask what and how questions, right? Because that means you're attached to it. That means that you're now a cog in the wheel. And if you're a cog in the wheel, you're a clog in the wheel. So rather than asking, what can I do, or how can I do it? The question that you need to ask if you're going to be successful in business or life is not how or what, it's who. Who is going to do this for me? Who can I get to support me? Who will be my distribution? Who will provide the service? Who will create the products? Who will sell it? Who will market it? Who will, so by asking the question who instead of what or how, you now understand that success is created by eliminating yourself, this idea of not working in your business, but on your business. Everybody says that that's a good idea, but very few people know how to work on their business. And it starts with that question of who. And it better not be you. If the answer is you, every time the answer is you, you've slowed yourself down, right? So, I don't know, maybe this is a good conversation for another time, but we've got lots of free tools teaching you how to create systems and strategies that eliminate yourself from the transactions that you're making so that you can make some serious money. Now, I know today we're not talking too much about money. We're talking about this movie, How Thoughts Become Things, but that's really a big, big shift that we all need to have if we're going to create the outcomes that we want. It's who's going to help us. Because the truth is if you look at the history of the world, no major accomplishment has ever been done by an individual. It's always been done by a group. Sir Edmund Hillary, when he climbed Mount Everest, he wasn't the only guy going. He had people carrying his stuff. He had people helping him navigate up the place. He had all this stuff, right? He had guides and all that. Neil Armstrong, when he landed on the moon, he had people back in Houston. He had people that built the rocket. They all, everybody was involved. He didn't just build this thing in his garage and go up by himself, right? Or even the Olympians that I interviewed and spent time with, they may have won the gold medal, but they had coaches and support and nutritionists and all these kind of people. So we've got to understand too, if you ever want to become successful in life, you need to be part of a team. And that team, again, is your network. It's your mastermind. It's your posse, if you will. And the problem I think with most people is they're very satisfied to play low. And if you are low, you go slow. And the answer is no. We talked about this, right? So, yeah.
We did.
Anyways,
yes.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what it is.
Well, that's a lot of fantastic information, Doug. And of course, you really know what you're doing because of your current life situation and the situation you're in financially and all the rest of it. So that advice is very good advice. We thank you for that. And just before we finish up the live video, just tell us some of the things you're doing now for promo, like going on TV shows and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we're right now scheduling with a lot of the big TV shows. Obviously, with the COVID virus going on, it's changed a lot. We would normally be in studio doing these, but we're going to be doing them remotely, kind of like what we're doing with you. Right now, on an average day, I'm doing between 6 and 10 interviews about the movie, which is awesome. We love talking about this film, How Thoughts Become Things. It's changing lives everywhere. In fact, one of my favorite stories so far, I got an email the other day from an 11-year-old boy. And you wouldn't think of this, though, right? But this, in the film, we talk a little bit about how to overcome fear and what fear really is. And so he sent me this little note and he said, you know what? I'm so grateful for the film because I've been afraid of bullies. I've been afraid of the future for my school. I don't know what I'm going to do, the future for my life. And now with what's going on with COVID virus, I'm extremely afraid. And the thing that most people don't realize is that all the media and everything's talking about the adult situation for COVID. People are unemployed and government subsidies and support and what are we going to do in the reopen? No one's really addressed what kids could be feeling, right? So here was this 11-year-old boy writing and saying he was so grateful for the film because it helped him to gain courage in a time of fear. So that was really powerful. So yeah, we're doing between 6 to 10 interviews a day, all kinds of really amazing people. The film is howthoughtsbecomethings.com. We've got some of the biggest thought leaders in the world in this film. It's really gaining ground and catching fire as what most are predicting is going to be the most powerful personal development film ever created. So we're just excited to share it, and we know that you'll enjoy it. And when you come by right now, by the way, we've done a few things that are a little different than most of the movies. So we don't want you to just watch the movie. Of course, enjoy it, but don't just watch it. we've actually created a workbook that you get for free when you dial in to come see the movie. And we encourage you to go through it and actually do some of the exercises in there so that you can immediately begin to manifest the things that you dream about, the things that you want, the things that you desire, everything that you want in your future. And I should mention that we also have communities that are popping up all over right now. There's quite a few of them on Facebook, in fact, where they're also discussing the movie. So in those settings, you've got people who will mastermind with you, become a team, like we talked about, your dream team, your team supreme. They'll help you to build these things that you want in your life, whatever they may be. And we've seen some amazing things manifest. So don't just watch the movie, watch it, and then get involved discussing it. And you'll find that things will really, really level up for you. You'll be able to increase the acceleration for which you'll be able to manifest all the things you want.
Sounds amazing, Doug. Well, thank you very much for coming on today. Everybody go to howthoughtsbecomethings.com. Check it out, watch the movie, get involved. And as Doug said, it will help change your life and your current situation. Right, Doug?
Excellent. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. So I will now end the broadcast. Goodbye, everybody.